What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rants, no hate. So here goes a simple explanation to a question that I was asked. Actually, it was a couple questions by two different people. Now, let me just make something real clear, real quick. So, Deontay Wilder fans are quick to, but Aries, what about this? What about that? Even after I play the audio, I'm watching the actual video. You guys are just hearing it, so it's audio to you. But after you hear what comes from the horse's mouth, I can only present to you the information that I have. That's far more, okay? That is far more respectable than just using your imagination to think what it could be. You don't have to do that when you hear what's being said. Now, what you choose to believe is up to you. I don't know what the truth is other than what I hear. But then you got to also understand when something's said and no one can combat it and combat it with receipts, then it comes down to what sounds more feasible to you, okay? Being biased doesn't change anything, and it really is not that serious. Now, what I'm referencing is this. So now there's a lot of talk about what's next for Deontay Wilder, being that he lost to AJ. But coming from his supporters, okay, they're making it seem as though something like Deontay was cheated out of an opportunity, like something shady went down. No, he got his ass whooped. That's what went down. It's as simple as that, okay? So what they're saying is, even though Deontay Wilder lost the fight, he still should have to fight AJ. And I say, if the Saudis or whoever are willing to put that fight on, and Anthony Joshua decides, okay, even though you got your ass kicked in this fight, I'll fight you instead of going on with my plans, then so be it. Me personally, no. Just like when AJ lost to Usyk 2 times, you heard me say, how the hell you gonna put AJ in a championship fight before he didn't even win? Before he get a win streak back against credible names, right? So no, who the fuck is Wilder? That's my whole point. Who is anybody that you can get even though you lost? Let me give you a second chance. That is a strong sense of entitlement. Okay, now let me give you some facts. The video I played, okay, was basically because you got guys like Blue Blood sitting here talking about the fight is on, it's still on, the Saudis are saying such and such a thing. I haven't heard any video, and that's why I challenge anybody. Pull up a video of the Saudis saying anything about, the fight's on. Okay, when you hear the term the fight is dead, it's because it's plain and simple. Wilder and Anthony Joshua was both supposed to win, which is why there was no announcement about them fighting in March, because now the fight is dead. It's not hard, people. Okay? Did you not see the video of Deontay Wilder sitting back there, getting his hands wrapped in the dressing room before the Parker fight, answering a question saying, now, if AJ lose, the fight's off, and then no, if he lose, ain't no need for the fight, it's dead. Did Wilder not say that? But Wilder, pretty much, you see the words that he say about AJ was happy when I lost, him and Hearn was happy, they was celebrating when I lost, he was smiling when he came out. All of that is nothing but a distraction to keep you from focusing on the facts. The fact is, AJ held his end of the bargain up. Wilder didn't. It's as simple as that. Had Wilder won, and then all of a sudden, AJ and Hearn decide to try to get out of the contract, then that's something different. That's not what happened. They both signed the contract. We know for a fact, Wilder didn't deny it. Finkel didn't deny it. Warren didn't deny it. Do you think that Eddie Hearn sat there at that post conference and said the fight was supposed to be announced at the end of the fight, but that was due to Wilder and AJ both winning, do you think that they wouldn't have chimed in and said that it was a lie? And you got to always understand, when these people say something's not true, but they don't have the receipts for it, again, now you're just picking sides with what you want to believe. So me posting the video, I'm letting you guys see, okay, this is what Eddie said. You think that fucking Blue Blood is sitting up talking to these people in Saudi Arabia? Do you think they're calling Blue Blood? So my comparison in that video is to let you hear what was said. Because the video came out the same, well, it was after, like a day or two after, Blue Blood made his video claiming that the Saudis said it's on. And you can't find one article or one video with no Saudis, nobody saying nothing about the fight is on. Now, let's say, and look, let's understand something. If Anthony Joshua and Wilder didn't have a contract signed, let's understand that. If it wasn't signed that if we both win, then we fight again in March, the options that either one of them could fight someone else, they both have the same options as far as fighting a different opponent. The reason that people are making a lot of noise is because everybody knows they really want to make a fight between Urkovich and AJ. Now, it just so happens when Anthony Joshua beat Wallin, okay, he was ranked number 2. He was ranked over Anthony Joshua. AJ took his spot, so he earned number 2. Otherwise, if he's number 3, then by right, it should have been Urkovich versus Wallin. But Wallin just lost to AJ. So AJ earned that spot by beating a guy they had ranked over him. So if we go by rankings alone, then Wallin's better than AJ. If we go by the fight itself and the results, AJ's better than Wallin. Do you understand that? So I can only give you the information that we have. Okay? And I would take a word from someone who's involved with these people than somebody sitting on the side making up excuses. And basically, again, you all saw and heard the video. 7-8 Sports asked Deontay Wilder about the words that came out of Eddie Hearn's mouth and AJ's mouth. Frank Warren even admitted it, that the fight was signed. The contract was signed between them two. Okay? You heard him ask the question. He asked, now mind you, this isn't somebody, some pro AJ channel that's making up. No, this is a pro Wilder channel. Asked him a direct question. There's a rumor that you and AJ already signed a contract to fight each other. You want to talk about that? Like, what was the situation with that? Wilder took this long pause. When he finally responds, I pause because, so many things going on, you know what I'm saying? Man, they don't want to fight me. Man, nobody asked you about so many things going on. It's a simple answer. Yes, we did sign the contracts, or no, we didn't sign any contracts. Okay, Paulie Malignaggi says that the day before the weigh-in or something like that, remember with Haney and Lomachenko, remember this, that they re-signed with Top Rank. They responded right away. I didn't re-sign with nobody. I didn't sign shit, right? Okay. They denied that shit. And look at the results. Look at the truth. But see, people forget what people say and why certain things are said. So bottom line is, you're talking to someone you're comfortable talking to. You sat there and said all this other shit. He didn't ask you was you a damn Kang, but you told him that you were a Kang, right? So my point, did you hear Wilder even deny it? No. But Wilder out his own mouth said if Anthony Joshua loses, then the fight is no need for the fight. But he lost. So my thing is, no, he shouldn't just get low. That's the whole point. You lost. Wilder won his title eliminator against Helenius. Okay? Both Andy Ruiz's fights was a title eliminator with Luis Ortiz and with Chris Arreola. But no fight was made. Isn't the winner of the title eliminator supposed to fight? Yes, that's the purpose. So he owes Andy Ruiz a fight. This is why they need to start reconstructing these contracts. Boxing needs structure. It needs to be changed. It needs to be done to where these fighters have less control so they can't do this pick and choose. Because if you decide you want to try to ditch a round robin, a gauntlet tournament, mandatory, whatever, you should be stripped of your position. Okay, if you have a title, you're ducking mandatory, you should be stripped of your title. And at the end of the day, they will show you that the reason that they don't want to be fighters anymore, or they don't mind being stripped, is because they don't want to fight the top guys. And this would force them to, they have a reason, they have an extra incentive to be in shape. So there's no, oh, I wasn't in fight shape. They won't have a reason to sit on their ass and not fight. So for a guy to say, I want to fight 3-4 times a year, and then take a year off, 2 years, you have challengers out there trying to get fights, but you're saying they're overpricing themselves. See, this is what I'm saying. Boxing needs to be different. So this man wins his title limit, and so does Andy, just to have the power to say no fight because you're asking for too much. No, see, it shouldn't be that. But that's what it is. The same man that said he didn't have the opportunities that AJ had, but he turned the fight down with AJ. Why do you think I stayed on his ass this whole fucking time? Why? Because like I said, people start spitting out different narratives, and then people start to forget what the origin of this shit was and who said and did what. And then they get a free pass because people don't remember or they're not aware of what they said or did. So no, you turn down these opportunities. And in fact, yeah, he need to come back against a credible opponent. Okay? You and AJ both fought Robert Helenius. Okay? Now you both fought Parker. You still never fought Ruiz. And then he says he don't want a rematch with Parker. The reason why Wilder does not want a rematch with Parker, okay, is because his clock is fucking ticking. He knows he can't afford another loss. He's not nearly as comfortable, okay? He is not as comfortable in his confidence that he can beat, with his confidence that he can beat Joseph Parker like he tries to make you guys think. So all that poison he's spewing out about, well, he ain't got no business beating me, not even on his most magnificent day and all that, right? But you don't want to fight him again. So basically, y'all, I don't need to fight him again. He just got lucky because ring rust kicked in. That's all, inactivity. But if I was right, I would have beat him like 7-8 told me. Once you get back in your rhythm, back in sync, then these guys ain't going to touch you. Oh, not at all. Okay, right. At what point does a guy beat you and you don't want to fight him back to get your revenge? At what point is that? At what point does that happen? So, no. Right now, if they decided that Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder was going to be next, the very people screaming it should be AJ versus Wilder because, man, they shouldn't have gave him Parker for his first fight back. The first thing that's going to come out their mouths, their hypocritical mouths, is, oh, well, you got to remember, AJ been active. This only Wilder's second fight back, and so he still wasn't back 100%. And that's the reason why they took this fight, because they know he wasn't right. They would make up any excuse. Do you think they would say, hey, AJ's just the better fighter? He was just the better man. No, they're not. What credit is Anthony Joshua going to get if he goes and fights Wilder right now? But the bottom line is, nobody's denying the fact that, look, the fight's dead because Wilder lost. Nobody, who's denying it? The only people trying to make noise about it is Wilder, not Malik Scott, not Shelly Finkel, not JD's, no, Wilder and his little fanboy groups out there, these little alphabet boys. They're the only ones making this nonsense up. They are. So if they had ties, they wouldn't have to ask Wilder shit. If they spoke to any fucking Saudis, they'd be able to repeat what they was told. Did you hear Blue Blood do that? Did you hear 7-8 Sports do that? Did you hear Dante's Boxing Nation do that? Did you hear Boxing Ego do that? Did you hear Fanon do that? No. because they have no connections with them. So who am I going to listen to? Who are you going to listen to? Someone just sitting there making up shit in the conversation? Someone who says something, then turn around and say, I didn't say it? Come on, man. So, yeah. So, I don't know what's concrete, what isn't, but it makes more sense to me to hear, look, this shit's dead. It's simple. It's because Wilder lost. So, the people involved with making the fight don't want to make the fight. I mean, he can say it 55 different ways. The point is the fight's not happening because Wilder lost. It's not hard. It's not that deep. People are just making more out of this situation because they're salty because Wilder lost. So what we going to do? Wilder gets his ass kicked, but he gets to dictate who he comes back against, some fucking X-level, fucking Z-level opponent, and then come back and he looks good because he got another quick knockout against another meatball? No. He needs, like I said, he needs to come back against somebody with some fucking credibility. I've said this shit. I've been saying this since he got his ass whooped, right? He needs to have to fight. Fight Zhilei Zhang. Fight a Daniel Dubois. Fight somebody that's live right now. No, prove yourself. Earn your keep. Now all of a sudden, Wallin was an easy choice because AJ went in there and fucked him up. Nobody thought AJ had that in him. See, that's the whole thing. But all before that, Wallin was too skilled, right? Too clever, and a southpaw, and AJ has problems with southpaws. Yours truly, Teddy Atlas, is one of the first people saying Wallin was going to win. Okay. Right? And what happened? So it's not about that. We can all sit here and say who did what. Okay, look. This is one of the things that makes me laugh when you want to compare who beat who. Anthony Joshua got beat by Ruiz. Wilder's never fought him. Wilder just got beat by Parker. AJ beat Parker 5 fucking years ago. Wilder wouldn't commit due to what? Joseph Parker coming forward, throwing that overhand right, nullifying his right hand, making him uncomfortable, and he don't know what to throw. And when he's throwing shit, he can't land it. And when he did land some shit, Parker ate it. What makes you think AJ can't beat him? And my thing is, it's not about a prediction of who we think will win. It's what needs to happen. And what the Alphabet Boys is trying to suggest is that Wilder is just granted a position. He don't have to earn it. Wilder said, in his mind, him and Parker should have been the A side. They should have been the main event. And AJ and Wallin should have been the co-main event. And then the explanation that made zero sense at all, has nothing to do with nothing, was because he's more worried about me, about, what did he say, about him fighting me than I am about, me fighting him. Anthony Joshua is not talking about Wilder. He's not talking about Jarrell Miller. He's not talking about nobody. The only fighter he's focused on is the guy that he went in and destroyed and beat the confidence out of him. So he didn't come out in the 5th round and he didn't argue with his corner. Is who? Otto Wallin. I got receipts of all right? And what did I say? You seen the post I put in the community section. Even the dumbass trainer, Malik Scott, sitting here, harsh message to Anthony Joshua. And what I say, even the fucking trainer is not mature enough to say, hey, listen, man, let's focus on Parker. You lose this fight, you got a lot at stake. You know what this is. This is everything right here. You heard Anthony Joshua say, there's no need to talk about Wilder or anybody else. If I don't beat Otto Wallin, all of this goes away. He was willing to accept the repercussions of not focusing and going in there, overlooking his opponent. But Wilder's arrogant ass, every time you hear him in an interview, you can't show me one interview where he didn't bring up AJ or somebody didn't bring up AJ and he decides, let me make this about me versus AJ instead of me versus Parker. See, I have receipts for what I say and do as well. So you can go and even look in the community section and you see the photo I posted. And also, I mentioned this in the video and I'm saying it again. You are the trainer. Yo, you need to get focused, man. Let's stop talking about Parker. Let's avoid these Parker questions. It's simple, man. Listen, I'm not fighting Parker. These AJ questions, whatever, I'm not fighting AJ. I'm fighting Parker. That's the focus. You know, even the people that was hosting the event. What's the guy named the guy that AJ has an issue with? and Parker had to tell him, don't ask me stupid questions and all that. I mean, the same thing. All you keep hearing is Wilder versus AJ. That's who you would think was fighting. So yeah, you guys with this nonsense about Wilder got cheated. He got cheated how? He got cheated how? And then to say Parker was the only person that had the heart to fight me. Okay, not one person can tell you any name other than Parker that was brought up to fight Wilder. But we hear Wilder out his own mouth because he's arrogant and don't realize he printed the receipts on himself. We heard him turning down Andy Ruiz. Then the childish shit of it all. Who told the story? See, the only type of stories they got about the Saudis is some bullshit coming from Wilder, which is what? Oh, yeah, he begged them to fly him out there. He talked all this shit, but when he seen me, he ain't say nothing. That's when he made the comment talking about, I'm a Kang 7-8. These dudes be calling my name, but when they be see me, nigga, they be mummies when they see me, nigga. I'm a Kang and all that bullshit. But we see you show up to a Tyson Fury fucking press conference and sit there and refuse to talk with headphones on. We see you, every chance you get, AJ's a bitch, AJ this, AJ scared of me, I knock him out in 3 rounds, 4 rounds, AJ been ducking me, he don't want to fight me, AJ. But then you get next to him, and all you do is smile. Reach out to shake his hand, made a stupid-ass video talking about, you think you need to go fly to the UK, talk to him. The whole time you knew he was in Houston. This is what I'm saying. Then he makes a video saying, Anthony Joshua was terrified. He could see it in his eyes when he was next to him. I think Deontay does drugs, man. Like, he does something. Something is not right with this guy. But you see content creators try to play neutral. I don't play that neutral shit. I say it like it fucking is. And the dude said all of that. AJ staring him right in his face. He's the one smiling, not AJ. He's the one extending his hand, not AJ. AJ actually kind of hesitated when he shook his hand. He was staring at him. He shook his hand, just kind of, shook his head like, yeah, I see you. And then Wild standing smiling and all cheesing. But AJ was terrified. Yet AJ went and handled his business and you got beat the fuck up. So, I mean, what makes sense to y'all? What adds up? What really makes sense? So it's obvious that the matchmakers don't have really any real interest in this fight. Because if they fucking did, do you think Wilder and his team would be quiet about it? No. His ass isn't on that card in March because he got beat the fuck up. Now, let's say they reach out to him and say, we want to put you back on the card because he claimed he had a multi-fight deal, right? Okay. If they want to put him on that card, he needs to fight someone, okay, worthy of being in that top 5. That's what he needs to do. AJ didn't make Otto Wallin number 2. The IBF did. That had nothing to do with AJ. So my point is, Wilder needs to fight somebody credible. And if you're not going to fight a Zhang who's older than you, if you're not going to fight an Andy Ruiz who's been calling you out and you owe him a fight because you both won your title eliminators, and even though he had 2 and you only had 1, if you're not going to fight somebody like a Joe Joyce, fight a Frank Sanchez. If you're not going to fight somebody like that, then what's the purpose? Let me get a bullshit opponent just to stay busy. But this is going to elevate me to a position because the world want to see me and AJ. AJ won his fight to advance. I lost, but I need a second chance. That's what you're fucking saying. That's all you're saying. So let me get an easy opponent so I can accomplish that. Well, according to you, according to everybody else, Parker was washed up. And the only concern they had was what round Wilder was going to knock him out in. You couldn't find 5 fucking people that told you Parker's going to win. You couldn't find 5 motherfuckers that and said it with conviction. No, everybody thought Parker was going to sleep. And I'm one of the few people that was saying, nah, I don't see this being no fucking Wilder going to knock him out, whitewash. I mean, it could happen, but really, Wilder can't box. No, I was saying it. You know, the funny thing is, I don't care what intangibles you guys try to attach to a scenario, to a situation, but when I feel something, I go with my hunches and what I see. I always come out right. Like I said, if I listened to all you guys, I'd have lost my money betting on Wilder, which is why even what I posted in the community section, one of the guys that made a video, bold words about stop thinking that Joseph Parker has a chance against Wilder. And he was completely wrong in his prediction. I don't care about the prediction. But these predictions are based off of general consensus assumptions. Oh, well, once Wilder touch him, it's over. Even if he outboxes Wilder, Wilder's going to touch him and it's over. You see how slow Joe Joyce is, and Joe Joyce was able to get to Wilder. There's no way that Wilder's not going to be able to hit him. And Wilder hits way harder than Joyce. Blah, 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 blah. Lost a 12-round decision shutout. He touched him. Nothing happened. And he couldn't touch him as many times as he would have liked to. So when I say his lack of boxing knowledge and skills is going to come back and haunt him as he steps up in competition. But when he loses, no, it's an excuse. So, yeah. I'm making predictions that's coming into fruition based off truth, reasoning, and logic. You guys are losing bets because you're making predictions based on what you think the politically correct answer is. And this whole, the right hand. Well, listen, guys. At the end of the day, Wilder is not fighting Anthony Joshua because he lost. Simple. If you know, the funny thing is when people make that comment, oh, but he fight the guy coming off of a loss. That's exactly my point too. So if AJ did fight Wilder next, wouldn't he be fighting the guy coming off of a fucking loss? So the whole thing of just because Parker beat him don't mean AJ can. Doesn't mean he fucking can't. It would make more sense that he fucking can, being that he beat Parker in a fucking unanimous decision when Parker was at his best, was a champion, was a lot quicker and better on his feet. Excuse me. You know, everything that he was then, he's better then than he is now. Why do you think Wilder made that comment about it don't make no sense to him that Parker think he gonna beat him? You didn't have confidence in yourself when you was a champion. How you gonna have confidence in yourself as a challenger? I fail to fucking see the logic in that dumb shit. And I'm not gonna sit here and try to make some bullshit up for him. So yeah, it wouldn't make sense to him because it doesn't make no fucking nothing that makes sense to Wilder makes sense, you know, or makes sense to us. If it makes sense to us, it don't make sense to Wilder. That's just the way this shit goes. Now, he said all that and he still lost. His words alone clearly show you he thought he was going to walk through Joseph Parker just like everybody else did. And just like I said, he was out the ring for a whole year before he knocked out Helenius. His age didn't come up. Nothing. His ring rust, nothing. But you know who said something about his performance or something that we seen in the ring? Me. I said his legs don't look right. His movements, how he just wobbling in the straight line. No. When you've seen him against Parker, he's trying to move and for the stupid strategy. Nobody's bringing that shit up. You're talking about age to a motherfucker that went 10 rounds, 4 rounds after he's been out the ring over a year. Ring rust my ass. The dude, listen, the dude's conditioning was there. The problem was, not only can he not box, but he fought a stupid strategy. He tried to fight the style of a boxer And that's not who Wilder is. And so when I say that Malik Scott is a bum-ass trainer, and you guys don't understand what I'm saying because you're fanboys, and you want to play, and for the ones that want to play neutral, Aries don't play nice. I'm a good guy, not a nice guy. I don't tell you what you want to hear. I tell you what's real. And there's no way that he had no fucking business instructing Wilder to fight on the back foot like that. And real boxers, real fighters know that shit. He fought a stupid strategy. And Wilder doesn't have the IQ to understand this is not how I should be fighting Parker. So bottom line, no matter how we slice it, he lost. He didn't even win a round. It wasn't competitive. He got so frustrated he was throwing hammer fists at the guy. Okay? He lost. So, for the fight to be labeled dead, it's dead. Because he lost. Does it make sense? He lost, but we're going to make the fight happen anyway. No. If we're going to go by that, then it should be Parker versus Anthony Joshua in March. Not Wilder. And he don't want to rematch Parker. And if he did, it would probably be on the card in March. So what's he going to do now? Take a whole nother year off and then make more excuses? The way I see it, guys, the next time Deontay Wilder step into a ring, he'll be 39 years old. What excuses y'all going to have after he gets knocked out? Not even a 12 decision round loss. What are you guys going to say when he gets knocked out? Oh, you know what it is? Like Wilder said, he's a happy fighter. He made a lot of investments outside of boxing, so he don't need boxing. And you know what? He lost that killer instinct. Well, I find it very hypocritical for you to sit here and even let those words come out of your mouth when you said the same shit about AJ. And then you're so arrogant that you take credit for AJ looking the way he did against Wallin. I gave that motherfucker the ability. That's what you said, to go in there and perform. He turned back to the old AJ. But you couldn't tap into your so-called killer instinct. No, his killer instinct ain't got shit to do with it. And I don't know why y'all biting the fucking bait. Okay, the problem with this motherfucker is what I've been telling you. He cannot fucking box. He has no ring IQ. And he's stepping up in competition. So he can't get away with this shit against the Tyson Furies and the Joseph Parkers of the world. That's what the fucking problem is. No, you guys are high because he beat fucking Gerald Washington, Arthur Spilka, Molina, people like that. Fucking bum-ass Bermain Stavern or old washed-up Dominic Brazil. Yeah, Robert Helenius. That's what you guys are so high off of. And I tell you, that's why I said, do your fucking homework. Look at the rankings of his opponents while he was champion. And you will see this guy was champion, fighting guys ranked in the 300s and 400s, 200s, 100. Yes, as champion. He didn't fucking get the reputation and get to where he is because he knocked out Anthony Joshua, because he knocked out Vladimir Klitschko, because he knocked out Tyson Fury, because he knocked out Dillian White, because he knocked out Joseph Parker, because he knocked out Povetkin, because he knocked out, any top-level guy. They're not on his resume. And the ones that are on his resume that's considered top-level guys beat him. But you want to tie the timetable into age. Well, that's his fucking fault. And that's the thing. Nobody's trying to make excuses but the Wilder fucking fanboys. That's it. Because had he knocked Joseph Parker out, I'll say it to the day I die, he could have won every single round. If he would have knocked Joseph Parker out in the very last round, you wouldn't have heard ring rush. You would have heard, you know what it is, man. Joseph Parker's a warrior, man, and this and this and this. Oh, he might have said, yeah, I think I got some ring rush, but like I say, man, I got that great equalizer and this and this and that. And that's what the fucking commentators would have been saying. That's what his fanboys would have been saying, and it would have been the same old story. This one-hit wonder, this one-dimensional son of a bitch throws a fucking right hand. He catches a guy after being outboxed, and it didn't happen. So now it's sour grapes. So when you hear people talking about, I was disgusted when I saw AJ coming to the ring smiling. Of course you were. You know why? Because Wilder had just got his ass whooped, and you felt very strongly this motherfucker gonna wind up fucking Wallin up. That's why. And even if Wilder had won, you'd have been crossing your fingers, hoping AJ lost, because y'all don't even care about that fight. And the only way you feel comfortable about it is the point of feeling and seeing AJ's not himself. When AJ lost to Usyk and we knew there was going to be a rematch, what did I say? The last thing AJ needs to do is sit on his ass and not get in the ring. He needs to stay active. He needs to get over this loss, however he can, get through this shit. You're going to continue to fight. You have to stay focused and understand shit happens. Move on to the next one. Sharpen up. Get to where he needs to be. You understand what I mean? And you're only going to do that by staying active. It was other people saying, oh, they think AJ should take a lighter fight. I'm saying if that is just to keep him busy and for him to sharpen up and work on things so he can get it down packed, fine. But he needs to stay active. Y'all criticized his opponents, but y'all praise his opponents in other fights. Like example, you praised Franklin and said, yo, the dude can fight. He's a fucking good fighter when he fought Dillian White in a debatable fight, who most people thought Franklin won. You praised Robert Helenius. He's a good dude, man. He's a good fighter too. Yeah, man. He won three straight fights. Yeah. Right? But everything AJ did, it was criticized. He don't look the same. Oh, ever since the Andy Ruiz fight, yet y'all never bring up the fact he won the fucking rematch. So my whole thing is the obsession that you hear is not from AJ. AJ's not saying shit. It's not even from Eddie Hearn. It's questions being asked. The problem is, if you are with the childish I'm team Bomb Squad or whatever, or I'm team AJ or whatever bullshit, then you guys are taking sides. No. Look at what makes sense. I'm not there to know who talked to Eddie about what, but I can show you the interview and tell you what came out of Hearn's mouth. Now, if you're going to compare what Hearn say versus what Blue Blood or 7-8 say, who in the fuck are you going to fucking listen to? Like, really? And the fact of the matter is, there must be truth to it because nothing has changed. There's no new news that came out about AJ or anything else, right? It's all the same shit. And nobody's denying it. Not even Wilder. But with the delusion, they don't want to fight. Motherfucker, he asked you, did y'all sign the contracts? And he never answered the fucking question. Enough talk, y'all. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people. And I will catch y'all on the next video.